Have you ever read an academic paper and understood every word, but not a single sentence? You're not alone. Welcome to one of academia's strangest oddities, a language that seems designed not just to communicate, but to obscure. Let's start with a simple idea. People behave differently in groups. Now translate that into academic language. Collective behavioral modulation emerges through socially mediated interactional frameworks. Same idea, very different experience. Why? Academic language is filled with specialized terminology, complex sentence structures, and abstract concepts. Sometimes this is necessary. Fields develop precise vocabulary to describe complex ideas. In disciplines like philosophy, sociology, or literary theory, think of figures like Jacques Derrida, language itself becomes the subject of analysis. Precision matters, but something else is happening too. Jargon doesn't just clarify, it can exclude. To understand academic language, you often need years of training, familiarity with specific debates, knowledge of specialized terms. This creates a boundary between those inside the field and everyone else. Academia rewards publication, novelty, and theoretical complexity, but not always clarity, accessibility, and simplicity. Writing in dense language can signal expertise, authority, and intellectual depth, even when it doesn't actually improve understanding. In some cases, language becomes performative. Complexity signals intelligence, obscurity signals sophistication. The harder something is to understand, the more profound it can seem. This creates a strange dynamic, where confusion is mistaken for depth. Certain intellectual traditions embrace complexity. Post-structuralist thinkers like Michel Foucault and Jacques Derrida often write in ways that challenge linear meaning, disrupt clear definitions, and resist simplification. For them, language isn't just a tool, it's part of the problem. Clarity itself can be misleading. To be fair, not all complexity is unnecessary. Some ideas are genuinely difficult. Reducing them too much can distort meaning, oversimplify arguments, and lose nuance. In fields like physics, philosophy, or advanced mathematics, precision often requires specialized language. But there are real consequences. When academic language becomes too obscure, students struggle to engage, ideas remain trapped in institutions, and public understanding declines. Knowledge becomes isolated, disconnected. Over time, this way of writing becomes normalized. Students learn to write like their professors, who learned from their professors, and so on. What begins as a tool becomes tradition. There is a growing push for clearer writing, public scholarship, and accessible ideas. Some scholars argue if you can't explain your idea simply, you may not fully understand it. Others respond, simplicity can erase complexity. The tension remains. Academic language is not just a way of speaking, it's a way of thinking, a way of signaling, a way of belonging. Sometimes it clarifies, sometimes it obscures, and sometimes it does both at once. The challenge is not to eliminate complexity, but to ensure that behind the words there is meaning, because knowledge that cannot be understood cannot be shared, and knowledge that cannot be shared cannot truly matter. In the next episode, we explore the relentless pressure to produce research and how it shapes what gets studied, what gets published, and what gets ignored.